Welcome to the Bank of America Countdown to Green as we get set to go racing.
Last week at Daytona, we kind of cheated. We had a steering assist on that we forgot to turn off from the road course at Watkins Glen. We ended up leading the most laps. Got the extra bonus point there. We weren't docked any points by NASCAR. We're just moving on. The rest of the race was just typical Daytona stuff. Falling in line, winding down the laps. It was getting down to it, and then a late race caution came out. Still don't know what brought it out. Joe Nemechek was on pit road or something. I don't know. And it really hurt a lot of these guys that are out of the chase because it swept all these other guys back up. We'll take a look at the points here in a second. But Tony Stewart really got hurt. Tony Stewart was in the back of the pack on the restart and got held up. He wasn't able to pick up any ground, and Jimmy Johnson ended up getting that win. As I was just talking about with the chase, it hurt some of these guys, but not a lot. I mean, they could be in the top 10. They could be above the cut line now. Mayfield, Wallace had the best finish at Daytona. And you see they're 6, 7, 19, and 24 out of the chase. Mark Martin had a good showing at Daytona, jumped up to 8th. And you see us there in 2nd, 41 points back. That's the closest we've been. And Gordon and Stewart took some hits. Stewart obviously took a hit. And Jimmy Johnson. Going to be interesting. He's on the pole this race, as you can see down there, if the graphic isn't covering it up. All right, we have 6 races to go before the chase. 12 races left in our season for the Winston Cup. Michigan, here we go.
The Michigan International Speedway for NASCAR Nextel Cup Racing, presented by Transporter 2. Hello everybody, our TNT Race family would like to welcome you to Michigan as our 21st consecutive season of NASCAR on Turner Sports continues. This is the Bank of America Countdown to Green. I'm Bill Weber.
I'll tell you what, walking through the garage here this morning, all the guys said Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
This 20 car is awesome.
He's one of those guys that can run down on the bottom and get away with it, and that's what you have to have here, and he runs good here. Was he kind to me yesterday? I just want to know before we get started. Okay.
Yes.
Except he was into your snack. Pace cars off, Michigan live on TNT.
If your ears are really good, you'll hear that we have, well, there's no way that you would know, but you might, again, if your ears are elite. I went back to the sound pack we used in our 92 season. I just kept on hearing little chips and clicks and just all these little artifacts in that other sound pack we were using. I have the links in the description, or not the links, but just, the actual sound pack in the description. So I don't know what links are going to change over time. You can always just Google it and find it. It's not that hard. The guy, the Piloticle, whatever's however you pronounce it, does a great job with these, but just something wasn't jiving right with the replays and everything. So going back to this one, I actually didn't test it. I actually didn't test how it's going to sound in the replays, but I mean, we used it all season in 92, and we didn't have a problem, so that's what we're going to do. All right, Jimmy Johnson has the pole here. We get cautions at Michigan, so random cautions are not on, but yellows are on. We started 18th. Siri put us back there after giving us a top 10 at Talladega, or at Daytona. Whoa, Casey King. I gotta pay attention. Michigan is one of my favorite difficulties on the game. It's just everything just falls in line. I mean, we could possibly win this thing. Yeah, even just being on my own here, I can hear the engine. It's just so nice. because you can go into the sound files and customize them, whatever. And the sound you're hearing of our car is actually what it would sound like in the cockpit. That throaty, bassy sound. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear the outside, you know, high-pitched whining. So I just renamed some files. But I guarantee if we go into the cockpit view, hang on. There might be some clicking here and there. It's just a little artifact of it. Let's actually run cockpit view for a while. We don't really run it. I tend to get dizzy when I run cockpit view on racing games. And I really wish... I'm glad we experimented with this now and not, you know, in the chase. Or when it really mattered. Like if we just waited until the last race of the season to do it. But yeah, I wish I don't know. I wish I didn't get dizzy. Because it's just, I don't have anywhere else to look. Like I'm just focused dead on, and it's just what happens. All right, we lost some spots there, and I'm not hitting my mark going into 3. We gotta regroup. We need a caution. We need a caution right away. Thanks for all the views and comments and likes and subscriptions. Glad people are enjoying the season. Let you escape from all the real world crap going on. Although, I just reminded you of the real world crap, so it's not really an escape anymore. I have dialed in. The rest of this week we have Michigan here, then we have Bristol night race next, and then Richmond. 2 night races in a row. I have the new Richmond from BBMC dialed in. Should be good. And then next week we have Pocono, Dover, and Darlington. And Pocono and Darlington are going to be 2 new tracks for that next week. We're using the same Dover that we used earlier this year just because it's new and fresh and I really liked it. But yeah, the new Pocono's all squared away. But I still have to dial in the Darlington. Then all that's left after that is Texas and Miami. All the other tracks are set to go. Talladega, North Wilkesboro, Rockingham, Phoenix. Getting down to it. Less than 12 races to go now that this thing started. I was listening to, real quick, I threw up the race analysis. The pit window modified fuel for here is about 30 laps. Just all good stuff. It's going to give us a nice, hopefully two pit stops. Hopefully no AI pit window issues at the end of the race. We should be good. But yeah, I actually had watched my Watkins Glen race, and it's not a case of vanity and like hearing and watching myself and hearing myself. Just I want to make sure that I'm conveying what I want to convey, and the Watkins Glen, the road courses are probably the worst, the worst videos as far as commentary and knowing what the hell I'm talking about and trying to have good streams of consciousness and thought, just because there's so many marks you have to hit, so much stuff going on. Like, I repeated myself 2 or 3 times on a couple of things. But this is much more of a relaxed Sunday drive at Michigan. We've gotten some big ones, though, in our seasons. 1997 had a huge one. I think the thumbnail has Dale Jarrett flipping in the air. And that was 97. And then 92, we had a big one. I remember Mark Martin got flipped around. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that we only have like 25 drivers running by the end of this. Although things have split up pretty well here. AI is behaving well. Things are looking good. We're just trying to track down Jeremy Mayfield.
Hey guys. As you know, from time to time, we believe in shaking things up, making changes in the organization. For that reason, we decided to change my car's number from 8 to 6.7. I'm just messing with you. We're gonna stick with 8. Just a joke. No harm done, huh?
Skipped a few there. I think 6 or 7 laps. We passed Jeremy Mayfield. We're still in line with him, though. He's still barking at us. But he's kind of falling back a little bit. About 10 laps from pit stops. Looks like Jimmy Johnson is still in the lead out there. I'm probably doing a little field summary right now. If everything goes right, can finally get back to these, because I mean, we did Watkins Glen, which is just chaos, editing and recording wise, and in Daytona, everybody's all mashed together the whole race. So this is finally a good chance to cycle through the field. I meant to check Casey Kane, Joe Nemechek, and there's one other driver that have yet to lead a lap this season. And they were all relatively near each other alphabetically, beginning with their first name. So it was K and then J for Nemechek, and then somebody below them, I want to say. I'm going to see if I can remember. Ken Schrader. So it wasn't below J. Or yeah, it was. H-I-J-K. Oh, we got you. All right, that's a spot. Now we're in 19th.
Clear.
Tracking them down. We have, yeah, Johnson dominating the race from the pole. Again, I'm not going to do as they run points and everything. That's just getting wild. But I do know that Dale Jarrett is a big name, and he's behind us right now. So he needs to pick it up. And honestly, the more I look at this, the more this playoff system is just it's what it should be. Win doesn't mean you're in, and then you just like play with yourself for 3 races and then you're gone. Like, it's silly. It was just They're like, wow, we have to put that win in there so it incentivizes guys to win the race so we get good racing. No. And then again, I don't even keep track of their point system anymore. Didn't they even take away the extra point for leading the lap recently? What? Like, just keep that in there. It incentivizes guys to lead a lap. Ugh. I was watching a Slap Shoes. If anybody's watching this, you probably know of Slap Shoes on YouTube. I was watching one of his videos a while back, and he was talking about the point system. And he had said what they're trying to do is manufacture Game 7 moments, and that was what I was trying to say last couple at Indianapolis when I was talking about the points. And that's, you know, he hit the nail on the head that they're trying to create all these Game 7 moments all the time, and when you have them all the time, it kind of dilutes the whole thing, and they're just bland. But he had some cool point system ideas as far as bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, bonus point for the fastest pit stop, 4-tire pit stop of the race. I mean, that would be very interesting on how that would lay out. But hey, you're brainstorming. We're coming up with stuff. And that's much better than 16 drivers, and if he farts on Wednesday, he gets an extra bonus point into the second round, but not the third round. He only gets that extra fart point in the second round. It's... what? Stupid. Should have pitted here. I'm just trying to eat up dead air here. No cars around us. Spotter's not even telling us, you're clear or low. You got freaking stuff going on. Like, there's nothing happening. But we are pitting here. We got 4 tires. Load them up. Hopefully no... let's take her easy here, huh? How about slow down to go into the pits?
The leader's pitting now.
It's usually a good strategy.
Keep it under 4,000 in second.
Because we're cowards, we always have to cut on the inside of pit road so we don't get destroyed in the tuchus. Oh, there we are. It's a chaotic pit road right now. So you can probably hear the air wrenches sound different now with the different sound pack. I think with our next season, I'm going to change the spotter. But that might be a little project I do.
Go, go, go! Keep it under 55.
Since we've been talking so much about Siri this season, I'm going to see if I can get a Siri spotter pack and make it. See how hard it is. It's probably really hard.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
Alright. AI sometimes has the tendency to spin out on this apron or get into guys.
We got trouble in turn 1.
There you go. Speak of the devil and he appears. I think that's the end of that phrase. Everyone always says speak of the devil, but then that's the end of the phrase. But context clues mean that's probably what the end of the phrase means. Or what the end of the phrase is. Alright, we went in 19th. I know it's showing we're in 19th now. Pretty sure we went in 19th because I was saying when we passed whoever, or Kyle Busch, we were like, oh, we're gaining a spot. Now we're in 19th. So we were around there. And I'm curious to see what spots we gained. Looks like Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Joe Nemechek lost some time on the track somewhere, somehow. We're in a nice little sound tunnel right now. Could have used somebody on our left, but whatever. All right, we didn't really gain a spot. I mean, we're in 20th. I think pit stops have cycled through. No, there's a turd coming out right now. But so these are the leaders up here, and Mark Martin's a second ahead of everybody. Good for him. Jimmy Johnson is in 11th. He had something go on. Beats me. There's some. I just saw those skid marks in 1. I think the last time we were in 1, I was on the bottom and really couldn't see those. So that's whatever happened in turn 1 coming out of the pits. Yeah, we still have our top 10 streak alive, and I've actually lost count. I could sit here and count, but this isn't in my head. But this isn't Sesame Street. But I think it's I don't know, a lot. We got a car going up the track here. It was Ricky Rudd being wild. This difficulty's fantastic. Again, if you... I'm not saying my setups and that track spreadsheet I'm putting together is the greatest thing of all time, but I'm telling you, I really think it is a good foundation for somebody that wants to jump into NR2003 and not have to worry about all the technical stuff. Just have nice little sprint, quote unquote sprint races that we have here. It's still a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, and don't get me started on the stages. So it's just competition yellows, and then you get bonus points for the stages and stuff. Ugh. Like, I still put on a race and I see stage number of laps, overall number of laps, and I just get so angry. Looks like they're lining up there to catch the leader, and then there's some big gaps in the field. Our journey into cockpit view might ruin our top 10 streak. We'll need a caution here somewhere. Meanwhile, just hang on for a second, because we have this little gaggle of cars that we're with. We're making moves. Tony Stewart is at the front of this little group. So what I want to do, if I ran the world, I would get past all these guys, get up to Tony Stewart, and start tracking down this next group. What were those pit stops? Lap 28 or so? I said third. I said 30 in my spreadsheet notes. They sometimes throw me little curveballs like that. And sometimes I tweak the INI a little bit after a race, and then I don't make a note. And it's just enough of a difference that it's different than what is in my notes. I don't know. Probably should have stayed low. Look out. But yeah, coming up, I really do not see a quote-unquote boring race the rest of the season. Everything's going to be good, whether it's, you know, the novelty of a new track or just great racing. I really want to make sure Miami is sharp. I mean, I make sure every track is sharp. So there's not like some extra mile I'm going to go for Miami. Wow, they were tied at the line last time, Martin and Gordon.
Keep low. Keep low.
I guess they still are, or maybe that was already this lap.
Keep low. Clear outside.
Newman being a worm up there in the top 5. Oh yeah, Rusty Wallace, he's in 9th right now. He's in the hunt for the chase. His top 5 at Daytona last race was his first top 5 of the season. I couldn't believe it. Mark Martin did pull ahead of Jeff Gordon there. And we have not wildness, but we have Casey Mears a lap down, so he must have been involved. I was trying to see if they were catching lappers, but we just passed Casey Mears, so he must have been the one involved in that little thing coming off pit road. Or maybe it wasn't even on, maybe it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't on pit road. I could see the tire marks coming from the apron. Yeah, I tuned in that Pocono that we're going to be doing. There's some cautions at that Pocono. I went to the developer's website and creator, whatever you want to call them. And they said, yeah, you know, we made this AI behave in a way that will generate cautions, but then there's the old cautions breed cautions thing when they're bunched up together. But the practice thing I ran, I had an early wreck in turn 1, maybe 2 or 3 laps in, and then everything settled down. So that might be something where we run without yellows. But I don't know, because if we have yellows, then it sucks everybody back up. I don't know. And then the old cautions breed cautions thing. All right, again, like I said, nice, good difficulty. Could have used a better starting position. Lost a couple spots with the cockpit gate, but this is awesome stuff. We're about, I want to say, if they did lap 28 first time, lap 56, so we're about 8, 9, 10 laps from pit stops. We're going to try to get to the top here and see if we can use Bobby Labonte. All of a sudden look out. All of a sudden we're in 14th. All of a sudden we're in 14th and we're looking at this top 10. What we have to do now is just stay right in Bobby Labonte's little strip. Yeah, his strip stream. Bobby Labonte's slipstream here. Trying to catch this next car, which looks like it's Jamie McMurray.
Now the Chuck's been upgraded.
What's it like being a world-class spy?
Has it been upgraded enough to take on Angie Harmon? I will drop you. Then at 9/8 Central on Heroes, how does Siler and Claire end up here?
I don't want to be alone.
It's a new Chuck, then new Heroes. Monday at 8/7 Central on NBC.
We passed Bobby Labonte. And we've spent the last handful of laps trying to track down this next group on our own, which is not going to happen. And that group behind us finally lined up. And they're coming after us. Lap 55 here. And they're going 3 wide up there, up in front of us, which could afford us the opportunity to catch them. But again, we don't have any drafting help. What I want to do is keep an eye on these pit stops that are coming up. And I want to see if AI takes on two tires with their fuel. We only got to take on 1 can, because pit window is about 30 laps, so 2 cans would be 30 laps, so 1 can would be 15. So there's the little things you have to keep in mind whenever you're running these adjusted fuel window things, just to keep it even, keep everything fair with the AI. Yeah, I saw Jimmy Johnson fell. I mean, he was leading, and now he's... Yeah, he was in 10th after those pit stops. So we already covered that. But I noticed Rusty Wallace was up near the front, and he dropped, but now he's just hanging out. Alright. Ryan Newman now in the lead. Did they pit lap 28 the first time? Alright, we got pitters there. We're in trouble here as far as top 10. I did check during the commercial break. Cautions are on. I've been playing it fast and loose with cautions on, cautions off, random cautions on, random cautions off. So sometimes a setting might bleed into a race like it did with our Daytona steering assist. Alright, they're at least taking on right sides.
You're in the top 10.
We're going to take a look on the back stretch here. Something tells me they only take on 2. So I remember, I think I took on 4 one time late in the race, and we were screwed. Let's take a look. Alright, Kenseth. Alright, Matt Kenseth. He was like kind of in the lead-ish. Yeah, right sides only. Looks like Rudd's about to get into junior here. Just missed him. A bunch of these cars are going to be... They're not going to finish their stops by the time we get to the end of the replay here. Junior. Yeah, dang it. So how about... Go back a lap. Carl Edwards and... Okay, these are some good cars that we can look at here. Right sides only. Okay. And then fuel. You always have to reset that after you hit escape on the game. So, right sides only and fueling up. We're YOLOing it into pit road here because we can't lose time. Well, we should just do that every time. That was a really good entry, didn't lose a lot of time. We need the Oompa Loompas to come up big here. Okay, if you're taking on 2 tires, don't squeal the tires going in. But in the rear view, it looks like the right are much darker than the left.
Go, 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 go,
Okay.
Go. Keep it under 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. Watch that speed now. Keep it on 4,000 in seconds.
Oh, JJ.
Pitting now. Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
Let's hook up with old Jimmy. That's probably the source of the wreck right there. That real almost 90-degree turn they take to get onto the apron. Well,
Okay, merge when you can.
not sure what that was. Definitely some weirdo stuff going on. Coming off pit road here at Michigan. I thought he was dropping the hammer and we were taking off. But I spooked him, I guess.
We got just 10 more to go.
Alright, we're in 17th. So we gotta pick up. Fly through these spots here. I mean, we're passing Bobby Hamilton for position. Fair enough. Maybe he just took on fuel. Boy, this was a short race. I think this was 35%. I think I should do 40% for Michigan. Alright, here's these guys that we were racing with a while ago. 15th. I think this is pretty much where we're going to be. Unfortunately. 14, 13, 12. I mean, we get to the front of this pack, we would be in 11th. Jimmy Johnson's not having a good time.
Clear.
Out in the lead to start this thing, and now just a lot of trouble. We're running out of laps, too, to get a caution.
That car's a lap down. Outside. Keep low. Clear. Car outside.
Yeah, that was kind of a jerk move by me there.
Keep low.
I own it.
Stay low. Clear.
13th. So I did the unless we hadn't cleared Elliott, unless we hadn't cleared Sadler there, but we did. Oh, Mears. I didn't factor in Mears' lap down. Never mind. That was the spot that we quote unquote gained that we didn't gain. All right, Kyle, do we have what it takes to catch Tony Stewart? 4 seconds. No, that's basically a second a lap. We have to catch him. And there's actually a lapper in between us and him. I mean, yeah, it's still, it's like almost 5 seconds. I just see 5 and 10. I'm not looking at the tenths. Yeah, it's basically 5 seconds. We'd have to gain a second a lap. It's not going to happen. Top 10 streak is toast. It was a good run. Really good run. Michigan's always good for a caution, though. That was just... We probably could have had one with that... again, assuming it was Casey Mears on coming off pit road. But we just didn't get it. What we needed. Ryan Newman out in the lead. Yeah, that stings. But we need somebody to pass him. I'm fairly confident I can pass Bush for a spot later on. I'm just trying to stay in line as long as we can in case something happened. Let's see. I'm looking at those standings. No, we're just going past them here. Edwards is in that final spot. Mark Martin's in that final spot. They're both getting, or he's in 9th or 8th or whatever. Kurt Busch, he's in the top 10. He's in 9th in the chase. So they're not doing those guys out of the chase any favors. But Kenseth's helping himself out up there. Rusty Wallace is doing what he can. Dale Jarrett's going to take a hit. Jeremy Mayfield. Yikes, 24th. Dale Jarrett 31st. Wow. Casey Kane 18th. So this race is going to wipe out a couple of, not wipe out, but really going to hurt Mayfield, Jarrett, and well, Mayfield and Jarrett. Kane's already cooked. But Rusty Wallace and Kenseth are going to hang in there. Leaders are about to take the white flag, it looks like. I have no idea what's going on up there. Looks like Martin just had to fall in line with Newman. He probably can't make a pass on him unless they hit lappers. One of the 92 Michigan races had a photo finish. It was pretty much it was a photo finish, I'd say. I think Mark Martin beat out Rusty Wallace for the win. Mark Martin, wow, 10th, 800ths of a second. So it might have been another photo finish. Most awkward commentating of all time as you're watching that, and I have no idea what's happening. Well, I looked at the replay, and it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was. You know, as the numbers said, 800ths. Maybe they were side by side, but they weren't. Mark Martin was just sucking up to him. Mark Martin did lead the most laps. Had a bunch of cars lead laps here. So at least Newman didn't get 50 points. He only got the 49. Junior with a sneaky top 5. Sneaky as in we just weren't watching the front of the pack, and, you know. And yeah, 12th. Top 10 streak is over. Yeah, cockpit gate. Whatever. I mean, we deserve it. We cheated at Daytona. It's our own little punishment. We'll move on. Jimmy Johnson ended up 14th after leading a bunch early on. And I was in the late stages there. I was talking about the chase drivers and stuff. On the back half, that's where we find Mayfield and Dale Jarrett. That's rough. So hopefully I was able to show what happened with Casey Mears. But other than that, a real vanilla race. I saw the replay time was 50 minutes. That was it's the shortest race I've had this season. So I'm definitely going to make a note to make sure we run 80 laps going forward at Michigan. 70 laps just sounded right when I was putting the race together, but a little short. But whatever. All right. Coming up next is going to be, the rest of this week is going to be Bristol night race and Richmond night race. And then Pocono, Dover, Darlington last week, and that's going to be the end of the quote unquote regular season. And then we'll have Talladega, Rockingham, Wilkesboro, Texas, Phoenix, and Miami to close out the season. This is wild. 11 races left. Season is really flew. Having a lot of fun with it. All right, thanks for watching.